Stephanie McMahon returns on Raw tomorrow night, which is an awfully enticing reason for me to keep my finger by the mute button on my remote control. She will be there to address her brother Shane stealing the World Cup at Crown Jewel in parts unknown. Speaking of Stephanie, she made some headlines this week while speaking at the Web Summit in Lisbon, Portugal. She said, 10, 20, 30 years from now, there's no reason that we, being WWE, can't be as big or bigger than Disney. And she said, now that's a tall order, especially given recent transactions. However, there's no reason why we can't get there. You have to dream big, have big, bold goals, and go after them. Look, it's nice to have goals. I have goals. You have goals. Soccer players score goals. Goals are good. But it's also important to be realistic about those goals. Stephanie is their chief brand officer. I imagine she knows a thing or two about PR and marketing. This is total PR speak. That's all this is. There is no way that she honestly believes this. And I know, is it far-fetched to think that a McMahon is delusional? Not at all. And there may be quite a bit of delusion here. But she knows what she's doing. She knows that there are stockholders who are going to see this and hear this, and that if she says it out loud, she could get other people to possibly buy into it. I don't think most people will buy into it. She was roundly mocked for it this week. I think they hear that and think that she is delusional, but she feels she has to say stuff like this. There is a far better chance that Disney buys them out than WWE ever coming close to competing with Disney on the same level, being as big or bigger than them. WWE struck a deal with Fox for SmackDown, right? For $1 billion. That was a big deal for WWE. They're getting paid, what? I've heard $250 million. I've heard $450 million on that Saudi Arabia deal. They sold their soul to the Saudi government to do a bunch of shows over the next decade to make a few $100 million. One Marvel movie will make that much and then some for Disney. Disney spent $4 billion. $4 billion that company spent to acquire Marvel, one of the smartest deals ever made. They paid $4 billion to buy Lucasfilm and the Star Wars franchise. Again, one of the smartest deals ever made. Those two deals alone, forget all of their own properties and characters, those two deals alone could probably carry them for decades to come. Now they're spending over $50 billion. I'm sure you've seen some of these stories. They're buying 20th Century Fox. WWE acquires video libraries. Disney acquires giant corporations. It's like WWE has salad for dinner, and Disney eats bison every night. An actual bison. Disney's starting their own video streaming service later next year. Some people are calling it's going to be a Netflix killer. I wouldn't go that far, but they're going to compete with Netflix. You know how many subscribers Netflix has? 117 million. Even if Disney does half that, I guarantee you they'll do more, but even if they did half that number, if they did a quarter of that number, the WWE network has around 2 million subscribers. In 5 years now that the WWE network has been around, almost 5 years, in February it'll be 5 years, they've racked up 2 million subscribers. And for them, that's good. That's very good. Now, that number is probably less if we're talking about paid subscribers, because I think that number includes paid and people on the free trial. You think it's going to take Disney 5 years to get 2 million subscribers for their streaming service with all the content that they have? Believe me, it's going to take a lot more than 20 to 30 years to play catch-up with a company like Disney. It's good to be ambitious, and I know there's been a lot of delusional people in the wrestling business. Delusional Dixie may have been my favorite. But to say that there's no reason you can't be as big or bigger than Disney, there's no way she believes that. Like I said, it's all PR spin, and she's rightfully getting laughed at for it. I mean, one company produced The Lion King. The other produced The Marine 6. Enough said.